at least twice for this recording. I don't think we're going to have announcements today since high school doesn't have classes. You guys can sing. X is equal to negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. It's my robot. X is equal to negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. You guys want to? X is equal to negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. X is equal to negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. X is equal to negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Fruit snacks if you sing it. X is equal to negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. X is equal to negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. All right. Maybe we should do something different.
I'm going to expose you to what is maybe.
Okay, the quadratic formula. Do I have this attendance correct? I think so. Just two people gone? Alright. The quadratic formula. So everything we've solved, right? We've solved quadratics in a bunch of different ways. We graph them and see and saw where they cross the x-axis, and that's the way you can solve a quadratic equation, right? Or you could factor it. Set each factor equal to 0, and that's the way you can solve a quadratic equation. Completing the square. You can solve a quadratic equation by taking square roots. You complete the square, solve for the squared thing. Square root both sides with a plus or minus. Remember that? Hopefully it was on that last quiz. And now we've got the quadratic formula. And if you had a graphing calculator, you could just graph it and see where it crosses the x-axis. Anyway, quadratic formula. So a couple of things you need to know. Whoa. About the quadratic formula. This is, I have to sneeze. This is where the quadratic formula is derived by using completing a square. Might be worth doing. And maybe on a day where you just have nothing to do, maybe I'll derive it. Here's the deal. You factor out the a from the two terms with x's, right? And that's why you have x squared and b over x. Because if you redistribute this just to those. And then you move them plus c to the right side minus c. And then to complete the square, you need half of this, which is bx over 2 squared, which is b squared, x squared over 4. But this is also multiplied by a. So there's like a 4a squared in there. So if you add 4a squared times b squared over 4a squared times a, you have to add the same thing on the other side of the equal sign. And then we can solve for the squared thing by dividing both sides by a, distributing that in. Now we have b squared over 4a squared minus c, right? Square root both sides. And this b squared minus 4ac just stays b squared minus 4ac on the top. But the square root of 4a squared is 2a. And then if I subtract b over 2a from both sides of the equal sign, then I have common denominators. So the common denominator is 2a. We have x is equal to negative b. Whoa, must have erased. Plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Like the quadratic one. So if we're solving this equation by using the quadratic formula, we need to know what a is, and what b is, and what c is. And it has to equal 0 in order for you to use the quadratic formula. So why don't you guys see if you can do it? Like you already know the quadratic formula. Anybody know it? Can they tell you what it is? Yeah.
X.
If you sing it, I'll give you fruit snacks.
I can't sing it. X minus b, or negative b.
X is equal to negative b
Plus or minus
plus or minus the
square root
square roots
b squared
b squared minus
4ac
4ac all
all
over 2a. Good. All we have to do is plug that stuff in, plug a, b, and c into this quadratic formula, and you get the solutions to this quadratic equation. So what is a? Anybody singing it for fruit snacks? Yeah? Singing it for fruit snacks? Eric? Sweet. Okay, let's hear it. It's beautiful. Tear in my eyes. Anybody else? Fruit snacks? Come on, fruit snacks, they're good. Outstanding. There you go. Anybody else? Fruit snacks? Come on, Shannon, this is pure food. Anybody else? Quadratic formula. You don't have to be amazing. Like I sing it 1,000 times, I'm still not amazing. X is equal to negative. What's that? I thank you. That is the best compliment I've heard in a long time. Anybody else? Quadratic formula. Cully? No? Yes. Please. X is equal to negative. We can do the start together. Like X is equal to negative b. Ready? No?
Sure.
Yeah!
I can't say it's too early.
That's okay. I'll start with
Oh, okay.
X is equal to negative b plus or minus. Amazing.
It's too
That was fantastic. Anybody else? Look at this fruit snack. Happy to be consumed by you.
Yeah, Grant, come on, you sing in the choir. It sounds great.
Do it. X is equal to
negative b plus or minus the square root b squared minus 4ac all over 2a.
outstanding. Wow, you brought a tear to my eye. Anybody else still available?
Can I do it again?
Come on, it'd be fun. Everybody's doing it. It's good. That was a test. Anybody else? Oliver, I would love to hear your golden voice ring out the quadratic formula. Think Macy should? I do too. Just sing me one little song, Macy. It'd be fun. Cool. You know, if you broke down and did it, everybody would do it. You're kind of a leader.
I already had enough for tonight.
We'll do it for the glory of the moment. Crew, what's A?
2,
And B?
5, -5.
Good. And C? 3. That's so simple. Now, the trick and the way I teach it is I have my students find b squared minus 4ac first, since that's the most confusing part of it. Just find that one single number. So b squared minus 4ac. Plug b in, b's -5, when you square it, you get positive 25. A is 2 and C is 3. This is 6 times 4, 24. 25 minus 24 is 1. And when you take the square root of 1, you get 1. Okay? So, x is equal to negative b. Negative b is positive 5, plus or minus 1, all over 2 times 2. From that, you guys can figure out what the two numbers are. 5 plus 1 is 6, so there's 6 over 4, which is 3 halves. 5 minus 1 is negative 4, no, positive 4. 5 minus 1 is positive 4, divided by positive 4 is 1. So those are the two solutions. If I needed to factor that, easy, I'm looking at the answers. I know one of the factors is x minus 1. Because that, if x is a value of x that makes it 0, x minus 1 has to be one of the factors. And then I know the other one is it 2x minus 3? Because if I add 3 and divide by 2, I get 3 halves. You can check it. X times 2x is 2x squared. On the outside I have negative 3. On the inside I have negative 2, that's negative 5. And 1, negative 1 times negative 3 is positive 3, of course. Right? So it works. Quadratic formula, it's not that hard to do. You just figure out what b squared minus 4ac is. Once you know that, you take the square root of that number, plug it into the formula. So you plug negative b in, the square root of b squared minus 4ac in, and you plug 2a in, and then you pretty much know all the answers. But the trickiest part is b squared minus 4ac. Find that first. Whoa, what is this? It's like, why don't you try this first one? I'll rewrite it just so it's easier to see. X squared minus 6x plus 5. Anybody know the answer before you start? Brooks? Yeah? 1? 1 is one of the answers? Good. What's another answer before you start? Yeah? 5 is the other answer. Good job. So you guys, like when you're solving an equation, I know the directions will say use a quadratic formula to solve it, but I don't want you to forget about the fact that sometimes you know the answer before you start. How'd you know 5? How'd you know it? Just kind of tried it out and it worked and then you're good? How'd you know 1? Just kind of, yeah, you looked at it and thought, well, if x is 1, you've got 1 plus 5 is 6, the middle number is negative 6. Good. Yeah, don't forget, like, get the right answer. If you know the answer before you start a problem, you're going to get it right. But you still have to plug it into the quadratic formula and show me that you know how to use the quadratic formula. So you're solving this right now using the quadratic formula. That's what I'm waiting for you to do. If you haven't started, then you're not doing it. Plugging these numbers into the quadratic formula, hopefully you get 1 and 5, like some of my favorite students have told me. that number. Take the square root. Minus that. So you have 11, wasn't it? Yesterday? Didn't I notice a big splotch at the bottom of my floor? It's like a crime scene. I'm pretty sure this is not the way it came out. Well, pathogen and I'm being recorded. Maybe it's ketchup. Is this one you not told earlier? What is this? I did have pizza here. Oh, yeah, pizza sauce. Because I had pizza here for AP exam. Shannon, not only do you get to sing the quadratic formula, you get to use a quadratic formula. What's A?
1,
B,
-6.
and C. Then what do?
You find the square root, so it's
Hold on. Please tell me the quadratic formula.
x
If
equals
you sing it, I'll give you another one. Okay. X, what?
x is equal to negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a.
Alright, thank you for that. And then you want to find the b squared minus 4ac.
Yeah.
So I'll set that up. B is -6, that's 36. Positive 36. A is 1, C is 5. 36 minus 20 is 16. And you know the square root of 16. What is that? So we're going to use points. So x is equal to negative b
Oh, -6, so it's positive.
positive 6 plus or minus what number?
4.
Square root of 16, which is 4. Now, I'll just put that in. All over 2a.
2 times
2 times 2. Okay. So we know these two numbers pretty easily. 6 plus 4 is 10. Divided by 2 is 5. Bless you. 6 minus 4 is 2. Divided by 2 is 1. And we already knew those were the answers. So we got them right. Nice job. Quadratic formula. How are you guys feeling about it? Let's have somebody do 4. Cody. Crew.
I have a question on the last one. How do you get the 4? Like at the very bottom?
This 4,
Yeah.
square root of 16.
Okay.
So we found out what b squared minus 4ac is, and in the formula it's the square root of that number. So that's what the formula is. I'll rewrite it. 4x squared minus 4x equals negative 1.
Is A 4?
Yeah?
Is B -4?
Yes?
Is C 0 or -1?
Well, the trick is it must equal 0 in order for you to use the quadratic. So we're going to add 1 first. 4x squared minus 4x plus 1 equals 0.
So A is 4, B is -4, and C is 1.
You know what the answer is? Whoops, what do you think? All right, so let's go. How do I start this? I do know the quadratic formulas for that.
You plug in the b's or the radical part.
Okay. B squared minus 4AC. Did you want to sing for fruit snacks? Sure. It's almost as much fun as a 3. Like hitting that 3. Right towards the end of the game. Down 1, up 2 all of a sudden. That's the thrill you get. Sure. What do I put in for B squared?
-4.
-4. A is
1. Or no, 4.
C is 1. X is equal to, so that's 16 minus 16. Does that mean we can't do it?
0.
Oh, it's 0. And 0 is a number. And the square root of 0 is what number?
0.
0. So we can plug all that in with the 0 for b squared minus 4ac. So x is equal to negative b, what is that?
-4.
Positive 4, because there's 2 negatives. I want to make that into 4. Plus or minus 0 all over 2a. And what's 2a?
8 or -8.
2 times a is 8. So what numbers are these? X is equal to what?
2. Or x is equal to 1/2.
1/2. Anything else? Because usually there's 2 answers. Just 1/2. Good. And if you factor this, you get 2x minus 1 times 2x minus 1. And that'll factor, when you multiply it out, you'll get 4x squared minus 4x plus 1. Right? If the solution is x equals 1/2, then the factor is 2x minus 1. Okay, good? Yeah, I got 2 minutes. So, this b squared minus 4ac that we find first is called the discriminant. It's got a name. And the discriminant will tell you that based on the sign of the discriminant, it will tell you how many solutions the quadratic has. If the discriminant is positive, then there are 2 solutions. Right? And look at when we got positive 16 for the discriminant, we got 2 solutions, 5 and negative 1. When the discriminant is negative, that means you're taking the square root, so you might have something like 2 plus or minus the square root of negative 7 all over 5, whatever. Right? Probably wouldn't be 5 because it's 2a. What is the square root of negative 7? What's the square root of any negative number? What's the square root of negative 16? Yes? There aren't any numbers that you can multiply by itself to get a negative. Because any number multiplied by itself is always positive unless it's 0 times 0 and then it's 0. Right? So if you get a negative discriminant, that means the quadratic does not even cross the x-axis. That means there are 0 solutions. And if you get 0 for your discriminant, like the one Cully did, right? 0 was the discriminant, and we got 1 solution. That means if you graph it, it would just touch the axis in 1 point instead of multiple points. I still have 1 minute. Calm down. Maybe 5 seconds. So if you have to determine the number of real solutions, you just plug it into b squared minus 4ac. If you get a positive 1, there's 2 real solutions. If you get a negative 1, there are 0 real solutions. And if you get 0, there's 1 real solution. 8, 1, negative 3. So this is 64 plus 12, 76. How many real solutions are there with a positive 76? 2 real solutions. Okay, that makes sense. Did I do that right? Negative 4 times negative 3 is positive 12. All right, you guys gotta have a good day. I'll see you tomorrow. You know, high school does not even have school, no retreats, nothing. We're just meeting here. If I'm not here, like when you get here and the door's locked, just wait, I'll come get you.
Did you have a test?
No test tomorrow, we had a test yesterday.